Hi everyone, welcome to UCI Illuminations Global Conversations today. I'm Daphne Lei, Professor of Drama and the organizer of this event. Global Conversation is a program we started last year during the pandemic. We believe that as long as we could figure out the time zone, we could bring people together, the global citizens, learn from each other and share our arts and culture. And today we are doing exactly the same. We are doing exactly that, despite all the challenges. Today we have Mahana Narimani and her actors from Tehran, Iran, to join us today. Iran is 11 and a half hours ahead of us, which means it is about 5:30 in the morning on Friday. So it's very difficult for everyone to get up and join us today. And another challenge is the internet connection is not always stable in many parts of the region, in many parts of the world. So let's hope today we can have a smooth event. And Mahana Narimani, can you please join us?
Yes, hello everyone.
Hi, and she's a playwright, director, and performer from Tehran, Iran. Her plays explore the darkness and suffering and pain of human condition, and also women's struggles. And very often her plays are in the form of allegory or theater of the absurd. And I'm really attractive to these forms. And her plays include Ground Zero, which we will see part of that today, Mona Lisa's Smile, Hive, Countdown, and Labor. Labor is the play that won the Best Script Award of the Red Curtain International Festival, Theater Festival in 2020. So today's event, we will have two performances, live performances with actors from Iran. And then afterwards, we will have a panel discussion with Mahana and Talin Abadian, who's a PhD student in drama, who's also a playwright from Iran. And then we will have all the actors joining us, and then we'll open up for Q&A. So before I want to say something is that the performances will be in Persian or Farsi, but then there will be live translation subtitle in English. So before we start, let's do a few things together. So first of all, during the performance, please make sure you turn off your microphone. But also, I would like you to go to the stop video icon at the bottom of your screen on the left side. And then if you click that, you will see video settings. And then over there, please go to, please do the high non-video participant. Please click that. I hope everyone has found that. So it's in the stop video function. And then you go to video setting and you click on hide non-video participant. After you do that, you will see on your left side, it's still in the video setting part. There's something called accessibility. And there is a function. It's called closed captioning is available. Please click that so you can see the subtitle. I hope everyone can do that. So basically these two things are, I'm sorry? Okay, after that, Yeah, so you can close that and then make sure you use gallery view instead of speaker view to watch the play. Okay, so you would have the Hive non-video participant, and then turn down your closed caption, and then use gallery view, and make sure you turn off your mic. Okay, so before we start the performance, Mahana, can you just say a little bit about what we are going to see in the first performance?
Yes, the first performance name is Ground Zero. It is based on a true event. I read the news about this event in, I guess, 2015. The news was about a recently immigrated man to US. He was watching his first snowfall in his new American hometown. He was shot and killed by an unknown assailant. He was 36 years old. Uh, when I read that, I wanted to tell his story, and it could turn into the story of immigration of many people seeking happiness in Western countries. The play contains two monologues. The first one occurs after Ahmad, the immigration one, gets shot until the moment he falls down. He sees all of his life's memories flashes before his eyes until the last memory, which is watching his first snow. The second monologue occurs after Ahmad's death, and we see his wife Zahra and how she handles it and how this trauma affects her whole life. Now you can see the last part of Ahmad's and the first part of Zahra's monologue.
سلام داری؟ آره ببین مهر فرم اقامت رو زدم. آره ببین وقتی زدم تا خود خونه دویدم رسیدم به خونه، به زهرا گفتم ببین باورت نمیشه انقدر خوشحال بودیم، اونم به خاطرش خوشمزه ترین آبگوشت دنیا رو درست کرده خوردیم، تا مرز انفجار خوردیم. هر بار میام خونه زهرا کف این خونه دراز کشیده، دست و پاهاش تو هوا تکون میده، عین بچه گرده. اصلا یه حال خوبی ما، باورت نمیشه. یه شمع الان شب 11میه که داریم روشن میکنیم و فوتش میکنیم. یعنی ما هر روز صبح از خواب پا میشیم این شمع رو روشنش میکنیم، فوتش میکنیم، جشن میگیریم. بعد زهرا یه آهنگی داره که خیلی دوستش داره، اینو میذاره میرقصه، شروع میکنه رقصیدن، آی موهاشو تکون میده، بالا پایین میپره، لامصب. اصلا نمیشه ازش چشم برداشت که نمیشه. اصلا یه حال خوبی، ببین یه آرامش عمیقی داره. الان دارم بهت میگم اینا به خدا داره بغضم میگیره. اصلا خیلی خوشحالم اومدیم اینجا. حالا ولش کن بگذاریم. امروز ببین اینجا همه چیش فرق میکنه. آسمون اصلا یه حالی بود، سرخ رنگ، پر از ابر. زهرا که دید اومد گفت چقدر آسمون اینجا قشنگه، چرا آسمون انقدر قرمزه؟ گفتم نمیدونم، اینجا همه چی فرق میکنه، لابد تو پاییزم آسمونشون سرخه. آره دیگه. الان رفته آشپزخونه داره غذا سر میزنه.
الان بیا اون چیزا رو بگو، آهنگه.
گفتم اونو تعریف کردم کلک. آره بعد ببین بذار ببینیم آسمون داره برف میاد. زهرا برف، زهرا داره برف میاد.
شیشه شکست. من داشت برف می اومد، ولی دیگه آسمون قرمز نبود. منو نشونده بود رو پاش، داشتیم تاب میخوردیم، محکم بغلم کرده بود که نکنه لیز بخورم و بیفتم. سعی کردم دستمو بگیرم به تنابی که خیلی بزرگتر از دستم بود و دستم دورش حلقه نمیشد. آروم تو گوشم شروع کرد به خوندن یه آهنگ. همیشه موقع خواب این آهنگو واسم میخوند. همون موقعی که با دستای بزرگ شیشه شکست من برگشتم سمت از صداهای بیرون که ترسیده بودم میومد سرشو میذاشت رو بالش کوچیکم و گفت بابایی یا با هم بخونیم. من تو تاریکی زل میزدم تو چشم، چشمش آرومم میکرد. بهشم بعد احمد
So the next play we are going to see is called Labor. Labor is the play that received the Best Script Award of the Red Curtain Festival. And I had a chance to see the festival last year. And then I really love this play. And that's why I got in contact with Mahana and invited her to join us. And this play was written in 2018, 2 years before COVID. So it is interesting to see that play right now because it is very timely. It is really timely for today. So Mahana, can you join us and tell us a little bit about this play?
Yes, sorry, I was
Do a costume change.
yes, costume change. The Labor, I wrote this play in 2018, and it is about a pandemic which wipes out half of the population. The story of Labor begins when 9 months pregnant women come to a governmental institute for passing the examination process of getting a rare and expensive vaccine. They are in separated rooms that allows them to communicate with each other through walls. And we can see them via the CCTV of their rooms. When the process starts, they find out that it is nothing like they thought it would be. The process is brutal and unpredictable. It has 4 steps, and each step forces them to choose a costly decision. Now you can see the second step of this process.
ایلو دست بزنیم، من اومدم، دست بزنیم.
شما وارد دومین روز روند آزمایشات اعلام دریافت داروی تزریقی ویروس فیلوویرید شدید. سکت استپس مای فیوریت استپ. بر روی میز مقابل شما یک صفحه کلید با 3 شکل چشم، به نشانه بینایی، گوش، به نشانه شنوایی و زبان به نشانه قدرت تکلم قرار دارد. شما با انتخاب هر یک از اشکال رضایت کامل خود را برای از دست دادن آن حس اعلام می‌کنید. 1 دقیقه زمان تصمیم گیری شما آغاز شد. بعد میگردم بوی بوی. خب نفر اول زلنگ کلاس، بیا جلو خاله ببینم. بیا 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 بیا. انتخاب کردی؟
میشه من انتخاب نکنم دیگه؟
نه. بزن ببینیم بابا، این ذره پول دادی تا اینجا اومدی دیگه. بزن. بزن دیگه.
گوش.
باشه پس زبان.
ببخشید فکر کنم اشتباه شنیدید، گفتم گوش.
نه درست شنیدم، گفتم زبان.
نه دارم میگم من گوشو زدم.
میدونم، منم گفتم زبان.
دارم میگم گوشو زدم.
داد زدی؟
مسواک میزنم.
مسواک بزن. شما پس از 1 دقیقه برای تحویل این عضو ما به اتاق دیگری منتقل میشوید. برای کمک به پیشرفت علم از شما خیلی متشکریم. برو خونتون. تو اینجا بیا ببینم. نفر دوم. چی هی لباس پوشیدی؟ کجا داری میری؟ چی میگی؟
من نمیتونم انتخاب کنم. من میخوام انصراف بدم. اصلا چرا من باید انتخاب کنم؟ ببینید من اصلا حالم خوب نیست.
بنده خدا. تموم شد؟
نه من میخوام برم.
آها. یعنی انتخاب نمی کنی؟
نه نمیتونم انتخاب کنم.
خب پس ما به جات انتخاب میکنیم. الو. باشه پس چشم.
چی؟
چشم. شما پس از 1 دقیقه برای تحویل این عضو ما به اتاق دیگری منتقل میشوید. برای کمک به پیشرفت علم از شما خیلی متشکریم. بیا جلو ببینم. نفر سوم. بزن ببینیم بابا، همتون وقت ما رو تلف کردی. بزن ببینیم.
من مثل بقیه نیستم. نمی‌تونم که شما رو غلطی بکنید. من مصاحبه کنم و همه بگم خبره.
چیکار میخوای بکنی؟ صدات نیومد.
من میتونم مصاحبه کنم و بگم تو چه خبره.
اوه مصاحبه. دیگه چی؟
همین دیگه.
همین دیگه. یعنی الان انتخاب نمی‌کنی؟
معلومه که نه. اصلا جمع کنید این بازی مسخرتون رو. من میخوام برم بیرون. من انصراف میدم.
انصراف میدی؟ باشه. الو بچه‌ها ببرین انصرافش بدیم. میخواد انصراف بده. باشه. ببین الان اونجا ته اتاق یه دری باز میشه. خب برو انصراف بده. بچه‌ها راهنمایی میکنن. خب بوی بوی.
چرا اونایی که واکسن گرفتن نگفتن اینجوریه؟ چرا نمیشه انصراف داد؟ شاید قبلا اینطوری نبوده. تو زبون رو زدی؟ من نتونستم انتخاب کنم. گفتم خودشون واسم انتخاب کنن، شاید بهتر بتونم باش کنار بیام. هی شما دوتای دیگه نیستی؟ نمیشنوی؟ یا نمیتونین حرف بزنین؟ اگه میشنوین اقلا بزنین به دیوارا. مسخره است. خیلی مسخره است. اینا خودشون اشتباه کردن باعث شدن ویروس پخش بشه. بعد خودشون به ما گفتن جمعیتمون داره کم میشه، داریم نابود میشیم، بچه دار بشیم، ما بهتون واکسن میدیم. اینا به ما گفتن حق انتخاب داریم، ولی حتی اتاقاشون در نداره. آره شاید اصلا واکسن در کار نبوده.
پس چرا نمیذارن از اینجا بریم بیرون؟ چی از جونمون میخوان؟
تو میشنوی یا حرف میزنی؟ تو چشم زدی؟
نه. آزمایششون خیلی سخت‌تر از اون چیزی که فکر کردیم. من شدم ولی وسطش پشیمون شدم، خواستم انصراف بدم. بعدم که چون امتیازت بالاتر از بقیه بوده میتونی این مرحله رو بدون انتخاب رد کنی. همین.
پس میبینی تو؟
آره.
اون دوتای دیگه چی؟ لالن؟
نمیدونم، ولی این یکی که انگار خیلی عصبانیه. ببینم هنوزم بهشون اعتماد داری؟ میشنوی صدامو؟
ای بابا دیگه چه فرقی میکنه؟
نمیدونم. تو داری یه چیزی میگی؟ آره؟ مرسه؟ خب
چی میگه؟
میگه گوش انتخاب کردنش ازش. شنیدی؟
آره. من امیدوار بودم که واکسن رو میگیریم و با یه بچه سالم میرم خونه. من میخوام برم خونه. میخوام برم خونه.
برم گردوندن کردم میخوام واکسنم رو بهم تزریق کنن دیگه.
کاش که زودتر تموم بشه. من اصلا حالم خوب نیست.
Mahana, will you join us?
Yes.
All right. Okay, and Talon? Yeah. Okay, so let's just talk about your work a little bit. So first of all, can you just tell us a little bit about this play, right? This was written 2 years ago, 2 years before COVID started. What was your inspiration? Why did you choose pandemic as a topic to describe the situation?
When I started to write it, I was struggling with the thought of being a mother and giving birth to a child in this situation, either local and universal. I mean, the economy, the global warming, everything that we are going through in the world. Then I thought about why I don't like it. And I got to how I'm seeing the world. The image that I had and still have about the world is somehow like an apocalyptic, dystopian fantasy type of thing, and somehow a comedy disaster atmosphere that I cannot dream big or plan for more than 1 hour ahead of me. And the fact that I want to be free as a human being, not as a woman, in every aspect of life. And then I thought about mixing these big issues in my mind together. I tried to think about other people's opinion about these issues and talked to mothers in different ages and their feelings about it. And because the motherhood is a global thing, I thought it could be better to have a pandemic to affect all the peoples around the world, and then they should choose being a mother or not being a mother. And finally, I got to these 4 women representing 4 different reaction and desire about life and motherhood and survival in this apocalyptic world, but still in some kind of highly pressured society. The main concept should happen in that society. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then the issue of how women can control their bodies, right? It has been an issue that women are not allowed to have a say of their own body, right? In some societies as well. Yeah, Talon, do you have a question for Mahana?
Thank you so much to you, Mahana, and to Daphne for coordinating this, discovering this play and making it possible for us to see it, and to your amazing actors as well, Mahana.
Thank you.
I was thinking about how plays can predict and how prophetic can plays be. And it's really, it's strange to see how relevant this is to our situation, this isolation these women are facing in their rooms, and how we can relate to that. Maybe this wasn't in your, maybe this just came naturally to you when you were writing this in 2018. My question is about this, in general, about playwriting in Iran, and about the scene of young playwrights in Iran. I follow the Iranian scene, theater scene from afar, being an Iranian myself. There are a lot of plays being translated, award-winning English plays are being translated, English meaning American plays. There is in a very high rate, and there is a demand for that. I was wondering if this is affecting Iranian playwrights such as yourself, who are creating work within Iran in Persian, and how is the scene in general of Iranian playwriting, and if this is and the topics that are common. Maybe the theater of absurd, as Daphne said, is very prominent. Why is that? Can you comment on that? And also the translation.
Yeah, sure. First of all, about the playwriting in Iran, I think we have a lot of good playwriters, the senior one and the people, I mean, different generation. For example, Mr. Beyzai is very unknown, very known playwright of Iran, and Mr. Mohammad Charamshir, and a lot of them are famous and known by other people. But there is a lot of playwriters on my age that they are trying to reflect what they are facing. Because I'm 30 years old, and in these 30 years, we have a lot of different situations here, and we can say a lot of good things and bad things that happen personally and socially to all of us. And I think it could brings that absurd, grotesque type of thing to our works. And also that you said, when we are reading all of the good writers' work around the world, for example, when a Pulitzer winning is announced, immediately the translation people, translators translate it, and we can read it right away, and it can brings us to the current situation of playwriters around the world, what they are thinking, the format of their works. And I think it's really helps us. Because in our education, we have a really good arrangement since the ancient Greek till the moderns and the current plays. We can have all of them in Farsi, but unfortunately we haven't any translated the plays of Iranian writers into English or other languages. And I think that could help us more if it could happen.
Yeah, I would like to ask you about like the challenges you are facing today as a playwright. I know, being a playwright and being a theater artist is difficult right now, definitely. But I will imagine being a playwright even before the pandemic was not easy. Yeah, so can you just tell us a little bit about the challenges you face as an artist,
Yeah, sure.
as a woman, as an artist? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. First of all, in Iran, because being an artist and art is not a job here, they are not considering artists as a working people. We have no financial payment or anything for our works, and we should pay for everything we want to do by ourselves. And this is the first thing came when you want to choose your major or you want to choose your passion. But when everyone knows when we go to be an actor or a director or a writer, this is nothing but love. And because of this love, we could face all things ahead of us, every difficulties. One of them is, I said, the money. Second is the society and some of our families not accepting the both, because the idea of being an artist in these economic problems around the world, and the ancient view or perception of being an artist here. For example, it's more difficult to be an actor than being a writer. But I think some people is really helping us, but some people is really make it more difficult for us. And as a woman, I never, honestly, I never thought about it as a woman, because I never thought it could be different for me or for another boy to be an artist, and I never thought like that before. Yeah.
Is there a censorship you need to deal with?
What do you mean exactly?
When you are writing a play, do you have to worry about whether this play cannot be produced?
Yes, all the time. Because I'm not famous and I don't have any financial support here, either from state or from private producers. And I've always, because we had no place to practice for and for ourselves, so we had to pay a lot to rent a rehearsal room, and I should direct my own writing piece, and I should pay for all the costumes and the stage designing, and everything should be supported by myself only.
Yeah. So I was mainly I was asking for about censorship. Are there topics you cannot write about, or
officially not? But the appearance of all the women and men on the stage would be monitored, and there's some rules for society type of clothing and appearance that we should follow. And something I think we shouldn't say something bad about, not bad, criticizing religion, especially, I think.
Yeah, I think I would like to add that every performance, every production has to go through some level of governmental approval. So there are stages that you have to go in order for your play to be approved, and then the production itself has to be approved, no matter if this is a student production or like a large scale main stages. So yeah, that's also, yeah, there are people who read your scripts and they can either approve it or not, or just not approve it. And there's no logic to it. So
yeah, we should get a certificate for every performance. And somehow they can ban it after 1 or 2 performances if we are not following the rules. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then this play, the labor, was labor performed before the festival, before the Red Curtain Festival? Was it
No.
wrong? No.
No, we tried to participate in some festivals, but they didn't accept us. I don't know why. And we also tried for public performances. They didn't choose us either. And the Red Curtain Festival was so kind to us, and they've chosen us, and we could share our thoughts to the world, and then we could find you and be happy.
Tehran,
do we have time? I have one more question. I was when I came to America, my first and when I went to my first show here, I was really surprised to see the age group of the audiences here compared to the age group of Iranian theater audiences, which are mainly younger people who are very enthusiastic about theater, about seeing live performances. I was wondering if this enthusiasm is still there, this passion for seeing work on stage, be it main stages or student. My time in Iran. I wonder if this passion to see it still going on younger people, and what is the financial situation of theater companies. I assume theaters are closed now due to the pandemic, but before, what was the situation of theater audiences?
Yes, I think economic situation, it affects of how audience should manage their money, and they should choose between, for example, if they could go to 3 plays every month, they should just choose one of them, and they will choose the one who had more advertising and more support and more big budget one. And they use celebrities, movie celebrities to attract audiences and bring them to the auditorium. And because of that, some experimental theater became, what can I say?
They suffer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why don't we bring the actors, invite the actors to join us?
Sure. بازیگرای عزیزم میشه لطفاً دوربیناتون رو روشن کنین و به ما. Thank you. I asked them to join us.
Yes, I figured that.
I can't, Mahana.
Okay.
Oh, so much.
Someone asked her to.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. Yeah. So, Mahana, why don't you help me introduce the actors?
Sure, I will introduce by their ages. First of all, I want to introduce Mehdi. Mehdi Mashhadi Kazemi is a professional dancer, actor, choreographer, and director. He started acting in 2001, and performed in several theaters since then. He's a MA acting student right now, and he's also the co-founder of our group. We've been working together since 2015, and our first collaboration was Ground Zero. The second one is Sepide. Sepide, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sepide. Yesterday was my birthday. I'm entered in my 40s. My first work was in about 10 years ago with TV series. And now I have very different experiences in theater, cinema, and series. I got acquainted with Mahana in theater. It's my pleasure to acquainted with her, and we worked together twice. I'm so happy to be here, and I hope this cooperation will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear. I should introduce Kimia. Kimia, can you raise your hand? Kimia Nahrain is a theater actress and a professional piano player. She started acting in 2014 as soon as she started her university in acting. She was my main actress in my MA thesis, and this is our second experience together. And Mobina can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mobina Bahani. I'm 24 years old. I started acting in theater in 2011. I have had more than 3 public performances. And I graduated from the university with a bachelor's degree in theater. And I've cooperated twice with Mahana. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. And Arazu, you can introduce yourself too.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Arazu Masuhi, and me and Mahana have been friends for 22 years now, since we were very young. And I have a master in English literature, and I'm a translator. I translated Labor, Ground Zero to English, and I have some experiences in, directing and writing screenplays and making short movies and everything. And it was a pleasure to be here. I'm so glad that we had the chance to meet, and yeah, that's it.
And Arezu did the subtitle today for us.
Yeah, I'm the subtitle guy. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we can invite the audience to join us if you have any questions. Do you want Mahana? Do you want people to turn on their camera so you can see them?
Yes, sure.
Hello. Well, I don't have a question right now, but I wanted to comment on one thing. So I know Mahana from her high school. I think we were classmates or in the same school. I don't remember exactly, but the interesting fact, she was so passionate about wanting to become an actress someday. And I always wanted to know, did she do it after all? And a few years ago on Instagram, I got connected to her and I was like, wow, she actually did it. So good job, Ma, and I'll keep doing the good work. Yeah, I'm so happy to see your progress.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you here.
Yeah, see you too.
I wonder if any actors want to share us with their maybe struggles or challenges being an artist.
Yes, sure. بچه‌ها کسی میخواد راجع به مشکلات و سختی‌ها و حالا چیزایی که باش روبرو بوده به عنوان بازیگر صحبت کنه؟ میتونین به فارسی بگین، ما ترجمه میکنیم. We can translate it.
Or any thoughts? Any thoughts about this kind of international collaboration?
ماهانا
Yes, you can say it.
آره من میتونم حرف بزنم. من به قسمت خوبش میخوام اشاره بکنم یا فقط استراگلاش رو باید در باید صحبت کنیم؟
Arzu, can you translate it or Talib?
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
It's
Okay, I can translate. Yeah. Sepide, just go on.
قطعاً که مشکلات زیاده در این زمینه. من به عنوان یه مادر که 2 بچه دارم، 2 دختر دوست داشتنی و همسرم توی این راه قدم گذاشتم بعد از اینکه اولین دخترم پیدا کردم. ولی خیلی خوشحالم که با حمایت‌های خانواده‌ام تونستم که تو این راه خیلی خوب پیش برم، چون متاسفانه نگاه سنتی کشور ما خیلی پذیرای این که یه مادر بتونه به این کار بپردازه نیست و خیلی وقتا مردها هم همکاری نمی‌کنن. ولی من این شانس رو داشتم و همینجا از همسر خوبم و بچه‌ام تشکر می‌کنم. مرسی.
Okay, Sepide just said that despite all the problems that we have here, especially, you know, the traditional view of people towards theater performances, she has had the experience of having a, you know, calm atmosphere for herself to do whatever she wants, because she's the mother of 2 beautiful girls, and despite the fact that she has all these responsibilities, her family really supported her for this performance, and she thanked her husband and her daughters to be here, because you know, many of us have, you know, problems, but
for example, one of our actors we can't have for this event because her husband didn't allow her to act anymore. Yeah.
You know, one of the actresses' name was C. You know, you just saw A, B, and D.
Yeah.
There were 4 women actually. The character C could not be here with us because her husband said you cannot act anymore. So
there is some questions in the chat.
We have a raised hand. Yeah, we have a raised hand.
Yeah, never again.
Emma?
Yes. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
Thank you so much from Irvine. It's great to see you all the way from US back to home Iran. I have actually one question for all of you, because I think many of us are not aware of a scene, artistic scene in Tehran. As you all assumes that you're all independent artists. So is there any scene for you as independent artist that you have circles of friends? I mean, you talked about struggles, financial and all that to get a support, but I assume that there are circles of people that they love to see your acts, your pieces and all that. So I'm sure this is a live scene in Tehran. Would you tell us, the audience, that how is that like, the term would be like an underground, right? But I don't want to talk about like being an underground. It's just what is like an artistic scenes that people that are interested like us, that we are here right now listening to you, if there is any. I can also tell it in Persian if for the other audience as well. من خیلی علاقه دارم بدونم آیا اون هنرمندای مستقل تهران و یا شهرهای دیگه آیا فضاهایی هست که با هم اجرا کنن یا آدمایی مثل من بیان بشینن و گوش بدن؟ حالا لازم نیست که حتما ساپورت دولتی باشه. آیا همین چیزی وجود داره؟ Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad, for asking this. Actually, no, because it would be dangerous to perform without any certificate. Maybe people do it for their friends or for their families and not publicly advertising that, but I think we can do it right now.
Thank you.
I can also add, oh, sorry, go ahead, Mahana.
No, please.
I can also add to that there, when I was in Iran 2 years ago, there were these performances that would just happen once, So in a cafe, there would be this group, just they would invite their friends and just the word of mouth, and they would have this performance. And I happened to be present at one of them. So they would have this performance just pop up in a cafe, and then that's it, that just once. And so there are ways for artists to just do these kind of like clandestine performances, but I assume with the pandemic that's also stopped. And then there is also, these performances are all funded by the artists and just the community support. So there isn't any governmental support, state support for.
Right. I mean, mostly like community support, like if
Yeah.
normal people would be willing to come and see. But I think Mahana pointed out that it can be a bit tricky.
Yes, it's tricky.
But it's always fun to be tricky, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know right now. I don't know.
It's
great.
It's
Thank
risky.
you so much.
It's risky. Yeah.
I wanted to add something about the struggles that because everything for art is focused on Tehran, the capital city. Everyone who wanted to be an actor or theater artist, they should come to Tehran to develop their works and be famous or work whenever they want. And I want to say this is another struggle that people should face in Iran.
I think it's the same thing all over. Everyone wants to come to LA, Los Angeles to do the same thing. So.
We have a question that with the internet being available now, we see in America a lot of Zoom performances. Is can this be a platform for artistic, like for theatrical explorations in Iran, now that this platform is available and artists have been using it around the world? Is this something that you consider yourself?
Yes, I think it's a really good opportunity for us to do it because still we don't need any certificate yet if the government doesn't know about it, I think. But I think it would be tricky to hear, especially for some critical type of plays. But still, it's a better platform to do it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think Sumit has another question before for you, Tallinn.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. He's asking if I have watched the pre-recorded plays online and which ones I liked. When during the summer, when the lockdown was new, there were a lot of performances and play readings online. I watched a few, but I have to add that your setup, the way you had your women in their rooms, the way you set it up was so original for me. Like what I have seen is just play readings, just people facing the screens. We did have in our Shakespeare festival, this New Swan, during the summer, we did have a performance, but Midsummer Night in Zoom, which used some filters and some really innovative ways of working with this digital format. But the way you, like, very simple, the setup that you use, that the women are pounding on the walls, it was so moving and so touching and so like tangible. We could feel that they're in their rooms and they're isolated, but they're as if they're in the rooms that they're sharing a wall, which was very innovative. And that was for me a very visually interesting and very attractive way of using this format of Zoom, rather than just sitting and reading and facing the camera.
And so if I remember correctly, your original play was written in such a way that they're in their separate rooms, right? Even though it was supposed to be for stage. right? They are divided by like glass or something, glass wall or something like that.
Yes, yes, and that would be the I thought about the arena stage for it, that and a rotating type of stage that it can rotate every process to all the audience could see all the actors in face of all the actors in every process.
Yeah, so it worked perfectly for the Zoom setting because now we just have all these squares, right?
Yeah. There's another question instead of question. Yes. Yes, Alexandria. Yes, you can give comment.
Hi. Oh, I don't know. Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Hi. So my name is Alexandria. Thank you. I just want to say thank you, Mahana, for sharing your work, and also congratulations to all the actors.
You can turn on your camera too. You can turn on your camera so we can see you.
Oh, I'm not able to turn on my camera right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But I just wanted to say, as I was watching the play, I was reminded of this TV series, US TV series based on a book called The Handmaid's Tale. And it's basically about this. I was reminded of the same universal themes of women struggling or being forced to give things up when like the world is going crazy. And in The Handmaid's Tale, the women are forced also to give birth in the future where birth rates are low. And the world is worrying about if they're going to be able to survive or not. So I just wanted to thank you for having the courage to write about these universal themes and yeah, to tell your stories and to tell these women's stories.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. Actually, when I was writing this script, this play, I was watching a lot of. I watched a lot of series and movies and books and stories about this apocalyptic kind of situation, and I tried not to follow them. I tried to create something for myself. And I think there is another question in the chat.
More production groups performing on Zoom in Iran. Do people in general do this? Because the last time, for instance, when we were talking to the Chinese director, he was telling us people in general in China they don't do that much. So
no, they are not doing right now because of the Wi-Fi connection problems that we always have. They would be tricky for them to put all their stuff together and do it. Thank you so much for asking this.
Yeah.
For Ground Zero that Sumit asked, I don't know, I should work on it because it's a monologue and it could be boring through cameras. I should think about mixing something together for it, and I will try it maybe later. Thank you. I think there's a question. It said, is there a national theater that has funding and therefore able to pay actors and for productions such as scenery and costumes? Merci Froelich. I think I'm not. Can I answer it?
Yes, please. Yeah, she's my colleague. She's a theater professor too. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry for wrong pronunciation. Actually, there is, but all the financials and all the fundings is always go to the famous directors. And they are not supporting experimental theaters like us. Maybe if you have some connections, you can take a little money there, but not much. Thank you for asking.
Do we have more questions from the audience?
Roxana said, hope to see you in person one day. Me too. And in touch with us. Sure. Sumit says, Sumit and our group have the Red Curtain Festival, the international festival that wants to produce a lot of online theater, and they held a lot of short festivals and other festivals from now, and this is a good theater for good cause. All the financials that they can take from audience, they pay to the theater artists in India that they don't have any financials there. And if people wants to see some online theater, they can go to their sites and find out about online theaters.
So my question for Mahana is, what's next? Do you have any new projects going?
Yes, actually, I have one project for the short festival of Red Curtain Festival that would be happen in March, I guess. I'm working on, I'm directing a piece, I'm not writing it. The writer is a Canadian woman, and we should have the international cast and crew together.
Actually, Mahana, you better not talk about it because Daphne has agreed to be on the international jury.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I didn't know that.
That's all right.
And also, I'm working on a interactional piece on the Zoom, but I'm not writing it right now. I just working on it.
Yes. And my question for both for Taryn and for Mahana is, we have a lot of Iranian, I guess, diasporic Iranians in Orange County and, you know, in the US, in LA as well. Do you know any theater locally, or do you know if people are doing theater outside of Iran? The diasporic community.
I know I have some friends who are very active in Germany, but they are not specifically creating Iranian work, but they're working with German groups and they are creating work there. But in terms of America, there are a number of Iranian theater scholars that are doing work that they are studying theater in Iran and the history of theater. But in terms of theatrical groups, I don't know. There are groups that do traditional performances here in Orange County. I know that there is a traditional storyteller. But in terms of like a theater community, I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, you know, like the work that Mahana's, right? Like people writing new plays. Because I have seen some traditional dance as well in, you know, actually at UCI. But I'm just wondering if the young people, or it doesn't have to be young
We
people.
do have established Iranian American playwrights But in terms of like a theater company dedicated to theater from Iran, I haven't encountered. There are theater companies that do work from Middle Eastern theater that are specifically working on plays, especially new plays from the Middle East. But specifically from Iran, I am not aware of one in America.
I think Mr. Bahram Beizai in Stanford University and the city of it has the group and work on Iranian pieces.
Yeah, I think Ahmad has his hand raised.
Yeah,
maybe he can help us out.
Right. I have another quick question for the actors, that there are 4 of them all with us now. What are the challenges of this piece for you guys? In this 3 women that were playing for us today, what was going through your mind yourself when playing this, when you were in that characters? Any of you, I will be happy to hear that. I mean, one of you is a mom already, so maybe she has more insight into that.
Yeah.
So some reflection on that, it would be great to hear.
Yes.
پرسیدن که چالشاتون چی بود راجع به کاری که دارین انجام میدین، چه مشکلاتی داشتین و چه حسی داشتین اون لحظه، چی تو مغزتون میگذشت دقیقاً لحظه که داشتید اجرا میکردید، به خصوص سپیده که خودشم مامانه. اگه میخواد جواب بده اوکی.
بچه ها هر کدومتون بخواین میتونین جواب بدین این سوال.
من شروع کنم صحبت بکنم؟
بله بله.
کلا این تئاتر برای من 2 تا جنبه داشت فعالیت توی این تئاتر. یکی یه جنبه شخصی بود و یه جنبه اجتماعی. یه بازیگر مخصوصا تو شرایط پاندمیک وقتی که از تئاتر و تمام علایق جمعیش دور میشه حالش خوب نیست و این تئاتر این کمک رو به من کرد که من دوباره یه حس بودن با همه رو پیدا کنم. این اولین چیزی بود که به من داد. از لحاظ درونی دقیقاً به خاطر اینکه من یک مادر هستم این حس رو داشتم تجربه می‌کردم که چجوری میخوای یه چیزی رو داشته باشی ولی به خاطر شرایط بد نمیتونی داشته باشیش. یه جوری یه سری از فشارهایی که شاید تجربهش میکنیم از بیرون به من کمک میکرد که این نقشم رو بتونم بهتر بازی کنم.
Okay. Sepide said the whole thing had 2 aspects for her. The first one was the social aspects because, you know, when, you know, during the pandemic, because the cinemas are off, because theaters are closed, an actress is not in her, you know, good mood. She or he, an actor, cannot feel okay. And this performance gave her another opportunity to, you know, to continue her work and so be, you know, make her happy again and everything, so she could be in a good mood. And for the personal aspect of her experience, she said that since she's a mom, she could feel that, you know, there are times because of, you know, the pressures coming from outside or people around you, there is this need of having something but you can't have them, and there is this huge struggle inside you for this, and yeah, I guess that was it, right?
من فکر میکنم یه چیز دیگه هم که از بچه‌ها چون تو آخر نمایش رو ندیدن نمیدونم میتونم بگم یا نه، یه شرایطی که آخرش به وجود میاد. ماهانا میتونم بگم؟
نگو.
آره این خیلی به عنوان به عنوان یه مادر خب سخت‌تر میکنه کار.
She wants to tell the endings. I said don't tell it. I want people to come. And I want to add something. When we rehearsed it before pandemic, it was so hard for me to put them in that situation and in that atmosphere that I wanted. After the pandemic, it was so easy for me. as a director. They just go to the feelings like this, and I was so happy to. It makes my work easier as a director.
Yeah, I will say so, because before the pandemic, it would be really, really a very absurd play, right? But right now, we could easily identify all these things because the pandemic itself is absurd. It chooses people without, like we don't know how I am chosen, right? How I am infected, right? Very often it's not logic, right? So it is already a very absurd situation, and also it's out of our control. It's yeah. So I could totally totally identify with that. And Iman, you have another question?
No, I was just interested to know their other actors, if they have some reflection. I would be happy to hear. But otherwise, I'm good.
All right.
بچه ها بقیه‌تون چیزی دارین برای گفتن؟ No.
No.
Sumit wanted to say something, I think.
It's about doing productions with poor Wi-Fi connections.
Yeah.
You mentioned that in Iran, you have poor Wi-Fi connections. In India, we also have very poor Wi-Fi connections. And we found a way to do theater with poor Wi-Fi connections. If you'd like to know, I'd be very happy to share it.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah.
My camera is not enabled, so I'll just speak. So it's like this. All right, fine. Thanks, Daphne. Like in India, Wi-Fi connections are very poor. So what we do is that we actually have an understudy cast ready performing. So when we cast the crew also knows the play. So that at any point of time, if it suddenly goes off, it can step in. So in fact, we did a production with 3 continents, and a person from Canada who should have had good Wi-Fi suddenly dropped out. And the stage manager had the presence of mind to do a still of the actor and read the dialogue. Okay, so it continues. So actually you have to have a plan B and a plan C ready, because things will go off.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that Daphne dropped off and came back again. Am I right, Daphne? Just today?
Yeah.
So you just have to be prepared for these eventualities, and that's how we rehearse our plays.
Right. Yeah. When we were rehearsing, we were talking about having plan B and plan C, and but because it's unpredictable. Somehow it's not that you can just call your internet company. Sometimes it's a national decision to shut down Wi-Fi. Yeah. So. Okay, we are actually over time. So thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for getting up early. And thank you for just all the rehearsals and all the hard work and all your courage and your just your love for theater. And thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us and everything that you did for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we are happy to be connected.
Thank you. That was my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
A lot of thank you from the audience, and audience also thank you for getting up early, and and rehearsing this play is not gonna be easy, I know, because we have so many people and dealing with different Wi-Fi connections.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you,
Bye,
Tallinn.
everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again, Daphne. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks.
Nice to See you, everyone.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
Hi, nice meeting you. Yeah. Okay. All right. I still have a few people. Okay.
Thank you, Daphne.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
for your help. Yeah. Okay, thank you,
Bye.
Julia.